Welcome to the Southern Oracles Tarot. I'm the Childlike Empress,
And I'm the Orin.
and this reading is for Virgo for January 2019. This is a general reading, which means it may or may not apply to your situation right now. So take the parts that do apply and let the rest fly. The cards have already been laid out to save us time, and since we do not like long introductions, let's get into it. Now, I will say, just so you guys are familiar, or for people who are new to the channel, the way that we do it is we lay out a spread. In this case, the seven card, or it's actually 10 card
Same
Celtic
cards.
cross.
Hmm.
And myself and the Orin give our interpretations, and sometimes they're the same interpretation, and sometimes they're different. So, with that being said, the conclusion that I came. Oh, let's start by showing you the cards that are on the spread.
So we have in the heart of the reading, the heart of the matter is the Three of Pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
The obstacle is the World. You got the Ace of Swords, Justice in the past, the Ten of Cups,
Crowning you.
crowning you. The Six of Cups in the near future, the Six of Swords. Didn't even realize you had two sixes here.
Yeah.
The Nine of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands as your overall.
Yeah. As your outcome.
Of your outcome card, excuse me. We did clarify this Ten of Wands, and we got the Viaggio,
Which is the traveler.
which is a traveler. We got the Gran Signore, which is the man of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Donna Maritata, which is the wife and kids, and the Vedovo, excuse me. And this is a man tied to his past.
Yeah.
And for the overall energy, we got the King of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
We also got the Militare and the Hangman.
Which the military is a man on the mission. So that actually ties in perfectly to why I came to the conclusion that I came to. So what I see with this reading, with the military, which is a man on the mission, and the Viaggio, which is a traveler, and the Six of Swords, which is a person leaving their past, and the World, which has to do with endings, is I see someone leaving a situation that could very well be a marriage or a relationship. I got that, and it could very well be you, Virgo, since you do come up in the advice portion of the reading. I see the Justice card here, which tells me that it could have been a divorce. The Three of Pentacles is the heart of the matter, so I usually start there.
If it was a divorce, it was recent.
Yeah,
It
so
was a
maybe
recent
this just
divorce.
happened.
Yeah.
The Three of Pentacles usually signifies two things coming together to become one thing, but because of all of this movement away from the relationship or from the past to the future, I see this as two things separating and becoming something entirely different. I also feel like with the Ten of Cups ahead, as the head card, it could have been a family, maybe leaving a home with children. And the World card obviously being a blockage, meaning that it's the end of it. It's finally done. That cycle's completed. Maybe the paperwork is finished, especially with the Justice card here. The divorce is final. I feel like I see the Ace of Swords here, which means that you may have realized this is what you're doing. So this is your head space, this is your heart space, and this is what you're doing about it. So you may have started to realize that there's some new, because this is a cycle that's ended, there's some new things that need to be done or new way things have to be handled. For instance, with the Six of Pentacles, it could be now you know that you have to pay alimony. If you see all these hands kind of reaching out for money.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you see this Queen of Pentacles here, it could be paying alimony to the wife, or that wife could very well be you. Maybe you're trying to figure out how you're going to receive the money that you need to support yourself.
Mm-hmm. You also see here with it could be a breakup of a family
Yeah,
and a household.
yeah,
You could be splitting dividends from selling a house.
yeah. Definitely splitting the money from the sale of a home,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely custody.
Yeah.
This is
Mm-hmm.
taking on different, these are all real things, so this is taking on different roles. So again, you're trying to realize what your new role is and how that's going to play into your life now. A couple of observations that I did want to make. The King of Cups is the overall, that may very well be the partner that you're separating yourself from. Just to give you a note, the Grand Signore is the King of Cups in the, what is the name of these cards?
Sabila.
The Sabila, the Verita Sabila deck. So he came in very strongly twice, along with Donna Maritata, which is a marriage, home, family.
Which is also the equivalent of the
Queen of Pentacles,
yeah.
right, the wife, the mother, and then Il Vedvo, which is mourning your past, or mourning. It really is sadness. So you're leaving this family and home behind. That's very, very clear to me in what I see with these cards. And because the overall energy is the Ten of Wands, it's very much a burden for you, this new role and responsibilities that you're taking on.
It could be the burden is the money aspect of it.
Yeah, financial definitely is coming in very strongly here with where your heart space is. You know what I mean? Maybe working a new job because the Three of Pentacles also represents employment. So maybe you have to work a new job, and that's just, you know, you have more bills to pay with this Six of Pentacles.
It could be that you're paying double what you used to pay.
Yep.
Because now you're taking on two different households.
Yep. Yep. Well, you're paying for your own household. You have less people to help you pay it. So definitely that.
Well, yeah, but if you're paying alimony or child support, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep. You're paying for two. Like, you got two hands. So not just one household, but two. So you're taking on a lot of extra.
Well, it's doubled here.
True.
With the 3 to the 6. So.
And it's a lot of burden on you. But it's something I feel that you know, especially with the Ace of Swords here, you're very clear that it's something that you have to do. Another aspect of it that I saw and I just wanted to add, especially with the Hangman being here as another clarifier for the overall energy. The Hangman has to do with a new perspective and a new outlook on something. So I think that especially with the Ace of Swords being what you're doing, you receive some kind of clarity that this Ten of Cups usually means happiness and fulfillment of the heart and family. But I think with this spread, it's showing that you realize that this family life was an illusion. This wasn't the happy family life that you thought that it was going to be. So you may have entered into it thinking that it was going to be the Ten of Cups, where you had the kids, the wife, the white picket fence, the green grass, the, you know, better than the Joneses type of thing. Is that what that's called?
Keeping up with the Joneses.
That's what it is, yeah. Keeping up with the Joneses mentality, where you guys would have like a great house. But I think with this rainbow here, especially because it stood out to me, you found that it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be.
Yeah, because rainbows are beautiful, but they're also illusions.
That's right. They're not anything real. And I feel like that's why you realized that you had to leave. Because this wasn't a happy home. This was not a happy situation. And I also see that's clarified and that's confirmed by Il Vedovo, a man tied to his past. I don't think he's mourning so much the loss of the family, because he still knows he needs to leave. I think what he's mourning is the illusion was lost.
Dream.
The dream, yeah. The dream is gone. And that's where the sadness is coming in for you. A lot of the Nine of Wands is just like, you really put in a lot of work with this relationship. But really, you put in a lot of work towards this dream. This was your dream, to have your family and all your children. Maybe you never wanted to be divorced. Maybe that was, you know, something that was very hard for you. And you always dreamed of having a family that was, you know, husband, wife, the kids, the dog, because it's all here. But it didn't pan out that way. And so a lot of the sadness that you feel and the burden that you feel is tied to the fact that that family didn't work out. That dream is
You almost
over.
feel like you were sold a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the especially again, because the Hangman just kind of gives the overall perspective. That was what it was. You changed. You like, this wasn't the way that I thought that it was going to turn out. So that's what I get for that particular reading. I don't see any other. I really do see somebody who's leaving a family behind. So.
Okay, so for the second scenario, the one that I see is a couple who are happily married. But I think that one person has come to a realization about a cycle that they perpetrate. I think that they're in a happy relationship and they're almost worried that they're going to do something to screw it up in some way.
Right, so you're with somebody that actually makes you happy. That's good.
Right, you're with somebody that makes you happy, who shares your values, who gives you that Ten of Cups feeling.
Yeah, that King of Cups. Mm-hmm.
Where you got that King of Cups, that loving feeling. But I think you realize that you have some kind of cycle. You may have been married before and had a divorce, and you're like, well, what if it's like that? What if it's like that past relationship?
Yeah. With the world being the blockage, what if it's the same cycle
right.
over again?
I see with the Nine of Wands here that you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're like, this person is too perfect. What's going on? Something's wrong with this. Is it an illusion with that Ten of Cups?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I see you still looking with these cards here. I see you still looking at maybe a past marriage or a past relationship over here with these cards here. and you're sort of mourning that loss, and you're like, well, I think it's going to be something like that, or
Right.
but it's a cycle that you perpetrate. It's something that I don't know. I think you're afraid you're going to do what you did last time.
Could be a habit. With the world being a cycle and the Three of Pentacles being like a craft, it could be a habit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Something that you do. Some way that you behave that you think is going to cause this to start all over again. Maybe that's the realization here.
Yeah, to start the cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be worried that you're going to start that same cycle again.
Yeah.
Definitely with the Hangman, and that Ace of Swords, you're coming to the perspective change. You see where you went wrong in the past,
Right.
and you're afraid to make those same mistakes again.
Yeah, it doesn't stop your fear, even though your realization.
I think even the realization makes you fear it more because it is a habit, and even if you work on a habit, it's still a habit. You got to work on breaking it, but it's a continuation. You could slip back into it easily. So I think that's what you're fearing.
Yeah.
Because I see that you're King of Cups, or you're Queen of Pentacles and a King of Cups. I mean, you both have the same status. I think you both bring a lot to this relationship with the Six of Pentacles here. You both bring an equal amount, and I think you're just scared. I see that it could be a blended family with this Ten of Cups and Three of Pentacles card. But I also see that you're carrying this burden. In the end, you're going to be carrying the burden of just wondering about whether or not you're going to self-sabotage this relationship.
All the past things that you've done.
Yeah.
You're carrying it on your back instead of when they're telling you, you need to release that. That's where what you're doing. You need to. I think maybe that's what it is. All these past thoughts are there. All the past things you've done. Maybe you haven't forgiven yourself because the Ace of Swords can also be a clean slate.
Right. So you have a clean slate, but this is your clean slate, and I don't want you to sabotage it, and I don't think you don't want to either.
Well, you have the Six of Swords. You had a really good observation about that card too.
Well, you're carrying your burdens into the new relationship.
Yeah.
You're carrying your baggage into the new.
Past. Yeah,
but that's how you see yourself.
Yeah.
You see yourself as carrying the baggage into this new relationship.
Right.
And you're just constantly worried about the other shoe dropping,
Right.
but the other shoe might be your shoe. But I think you also worried that this person isn't all that they're cracked up to be either.
Right. What are they really? You still got your guard up, so you need to fight if they indeed turn out to not be what you think that they are. So they're on your knees, though. This will be your last fight.
But no, even though you're still worried, you're still willing to give it one more try with that
I
9.
just had a little bit of epiphany, right? What if with this military card, because he's like on a mission, what if you're searching for the person's faults?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
you could be actively searching for their faults.
Right, because you think that they're too good to be true. Like, what if you are like, see how you want to feel like, I want to love, but I don't know if this is real.
Right.
What if you're constantly looking for what's wrong with this person,
Right.
And that's like, oh, you're obsessive. All you're trying to think about is what's wrong with them. Maybe this is you starting fights or starting things again to see. You're like, well, what's his deal, And that came to me clear as day. I was like, he's looking for a fight. Like, what if you are looking for the weakness in this person? Like, you're literally looking for their failures or what's wrong with them.
Well, it just occurred to me as the vegetable is looking at his ex. Maybe this person does things to trigger you
and
remind you of the ex, and that's why you're looking for faults.
Yeah.
That's why you got your guard up and waiting for that other shoe to drop.
Yeah, because it's a good one. That came out of nowhere. That came out of nowhere. The advice is to, obviously, it sounds so corny, but probably to stay grounded and focused. The Queen of Pentacles is kind of holding her pentacle, and that's what she's worried about. What's real,
right?
Basically, don't worry about what's not real, especially with this being the headspace. This is what's in front of you. This is what you see. This is what you know. Worry about what's real. You have your own instincts. This is, especially with that peacock there, you have beautiful things around you. You are grounded, because this is your advice. Or stay grounded. Don't get caught up in your head or your emotions, because it is a cups card with the 10 of cups. Worry about what's real. I think that's what they're saying to you, in my opinion. So, for those of you in situation number 2, worry about what's real and that should help you with this particular situation.
So, let's mention the signs.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so clearly Earth signs:
Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn.
Obviously water signs: Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio.
You have the World card.
We do have the World card, but see in this one they don't have. They usually have the fixed signs, so I don't really see anything for that. But we do have Justice, same as always, Libra,
And the Hangman.
and the Hangman, which is Pisces.
Pisces.
Yeah, it's that Pisces. So maybe you're dealing with the Pisces. Whenever
Could be that
somebody
you
comes
deal with
in-
the Pisces,
Whenever
yeah.
somebody comes in twice, I have to ask something. So maybe you are dealing with the Pisces, Pisces, Libra, Earth signs,
Fellow Earth signs.
fellow Earth signs, because we're all family. But yeah, that's pretty much the only signs that we see. There's enough signs, really, but it doesn't matter. And the reason why is because if this is your situation, what difference does it make, right? If this is you, this is you. So, that's all the messages that I have. How about you?
Yeah.
That's pretty much all you see. I see that.
No.
I see those eyes looking ahead. What do you see? You see anything else?
Maybe one other message is that with the military and the Ten of Cups, this is like the happiness you've been searching for a long time.
Yeah.
And now that you finally have it, you probably don't know what to do with it. I think it's a burden to you. It's a burden to you because it's so much fear. Even though I don't have any swords cards except for the ace. It's such a burden to you thinking of what can go wrong and what can happen.
Well,
Even
I want to
Oh, go ahead.
observe.
Go
I'm
ahead.
an Earth sign, so sometimes the way that we show our anxiety is not always so mental as the way that we behave. Not that we don't feel anxiety. I just think that maybe with the Wands cards, it's a more accurate depiction of how we display our anxiety. So it feels more like a burden than a mental battle.
Okay.
You know, it's like, oh my God. Like, it may not be as frantic as somebody having, like, Ten of Swords. Oh my God, oh my God. You know, not that we don't feel that, but when we feel nervousness or whenever we're kind of going through anything, it becomes a physical burden. And
Okay.
because, you know, you start to have backaches or neck aches or that kind of thing. It's just taking its toll on you is maybe a better way to
Right.
explain
Okay,
this
that's a good
card.
one. Yeah.
It's taking its toll on you. That is a earth sign way. And we talk a lot on this channel about the different ways that the elements have their love languages and how they handle stresses and how these cards actually have hidden meanings to show that. So, you know, just stay tuned when you watch our videos. Really listen for that because it's in them when we talk about it. But for earth signs, it does display itself kind of physically, you know, with stress and things like that. So maybe for this person, again, this is taking a toll on them. Their obsession with their past or their obsession with looking back at their past and thinking that they're going to mess this up. It's just constantly taking a toll on them.
Or that the person is going to become the
person that they were with. Right?
Yeah.
So it just kind of takes a toll on you day by day because these burdens didn't happen overnight. So maybe every day you just get a little bit, you know, more and more hunched over, a little bit more anxious, a little bit more like, you know, nervous about how this is going to turn out. And it starts to take its toll on you. So their advice is focus on what's real. You know, we can't worry about what isn't real, and what is past is done.
Right.
Time only marches forward. So, you know, don't let this start to take a toll on you. It will start to take a toll on your relationship. Well, it will be a burden.
Right.
Maybe an unspoken one because he is silent.
Yeah. And he's shouldering those burdens willingly.
Yeah, alone.
Yeah,
So
and alone, yeah.
Don't do that, right? Don't definitely. I think this is just, you know, the outcome is.
Well, yeah, but it's right next to you got the Six of Pentacles, and it might be just to share your concerns. That could be
Right.
yeah, share your concerns. That could be advice.
Yeah, and definitely pay attention to what is. In this case, letting all these things become like these physical burdens for you, or true burdens for you, is not going to help anything. Definitely share your burdens because you have a lot of them, and definitely focus on what's in front of you. If at any time it changes, you always have the power. It's in your hands to change the outcome. If this person changes, then you can do what you need to do and make that decision. But for now, this is what they're presenting to you, and I think that it's a good thing. It's a clean slate,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So, yeah, that was good too. You guys needed some advice, so or what have you, right?
So if it resonates with you,
Please
like, share.
and subscribe. Also, we encourage different perspectives. So if you guys see any different messages, within the cards. Share how the cards' energies appear to you down in the comment section below. And until next time, take care.